Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I did a little survey on my Instagram and I asked if I should do this video or not because I know it's a sensitive topic, and literally for a minute it was like 50 and 50. No, I didn't know if I was going to make this video or not. But towards the end of the day, it ended up people actually ended up saying yes, I should make this video. It became 66 to 34%. So a lot of you guys requested this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this video. I do understand why a lot of people said no to this video. I know a lot of people are like, leave it in the past, it's there, you've moved on, you're in a better place now, there's no need for this video. But this isn't a bashing video in any way, shape, or form. This video is more like, I remember when I was in this, when I was going through all of this, and it was a really, really hard time in my life, and I remember being depressed. I remember, and I like distinctively remember people coming up to me and being like, Maggie, you're gonna be okay, it's fine, don't worry, keep your head up. And I kind of looked at these people like, but am I gonna be okay? Have you guys been through this? Do you guys know? It's like they didn't. And it wasn't until I gave birth to Noah and I started meeting all these other women who had either similar stories to mine, or even sometimes they had like an even worse story. It wasn't until then that I realized, like, if these girls can make it and these girls are okay and they're living their best life, why can't I? And that's truly when I started feeling better about my situation, and I started doing things to make my life better and make my life the best life I could possibly live. So this video is kind of my story, and I'm kind of hoping to share it and helping anybody who watches this who's going through a similar situation or is dealing with something like this, because it's hard. It's definitely hard, and you know, life throws you curveballs and you're just gonna have to deal with it the best way you can. And I know sometimes hearing it from someone who's been through it is a little bit helpful. So that's the point of my video. Don't want to make this intro too long because I know the story is gonna be long as hell. So go get your snack, go get you some water. I'll give you some time because it's gonna be a long one. I'm gonna be changing names just because, like I said, this isn't a bashing video. I don't want anyone to go out there, look for him, and, you know, try to bash and make him like feel bad. This is not the point. I'm gonna be changing the names of the people in the story, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna start the story off about on how we met. So I used to work for a hotel, and this hotel was right on the beach. So summertime, it was packed. I mean, like, packed to the max, and they were always hiring new people. So this definitely was like end of April, beginning of May. They hired, we're gonna call him Brad, and trust me, that's not his name. I don't even think I know a Brad, but we're gonna call him Brad. I went up to the break room, and at that time I didn't drive, so I had to call my mom and I had to ask her to pick me up from work and drive me home. So I was at the break room waiting for her to come pick me up, and here comes Brad, and he sees me. He's like, oh, hey, what's up, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, you know, nothing, I'm just waiting for my mom to pick me up. He's like, oh, well, where do you live? And I was just like, oh, I live in such and such town. He was like, I live there too, can I give you a ride home? And I said, oh no, you know what, no, my mom's already on her way, I really don't want to be a bother. He's like, no, it's no bother at all, let me take you home. He was so persistent. He's like, no, let me give you a ride home, I want to give you a ride home. So I was like, all right, like, you could give me a ride home. He dropped me off, and I said, thank you so much for the ride, I really appreciate it. And he was like, let me get your number, so in case you ever need a ride again, you could just text me. And I was like, you know, this guy was nice enough to give me a ride. I'm not gonna be mean, I work with him every day, so might as well like give him my number. What's the worst that can happen? So I go inside, and literally, guys, that same night, he texts me, oh, I can't stop thinking about you, your smile, all this like just like really over the top stuff, and I was like, we just met. What do you mean you can't get my smile out of your mouth? So I was like, oh God. I was trying to be so nice. I didn't want to be rude. I was like, no, thank you. And when I'm telling you guys, this went on for days. It did not go on for one day. It didn't go on for two. Like, it was repeatedly. Like, he was like, please let me take you out. He even started getting jealous. Like, I'd start talking to a guy at work and he'd be like, why were you talking to that guy? And I'm like, we're not even dating. Why are you jealous? Like, I don't understand. And he was just like, because I have faith in God that we're going to be together one day. I know God has a wonderful plan for us in the future. And in case you haven't picked it up, he was also like what I would say is a hardcore Christian. He went to church like during the week. He also went on Sundays. He went to like youth group meetings. He was always talking about God, always talking about Jesus to me. And I guess that's kind of why I let my wall down at first, because I was like, he's a Christian man. Why would he hurt me? Why would he, you know, do anything to cause me pain? Yeah, no, I was wrong. So it had been a while since I had been in like a really serious relationship, so I kind of thought to myself, I was like, maybe it's just time for me to get back out there. Maybe I need, even if he's not the one, I just need to like get my foot in the water. I need to dip my foot in the water. I need to just get back out there because it's been such a long time. And so after days of him being like, can we go out, can we go out, I said yes. And we started dating. And when I tell you we went from 0 to 100 real quick, we went from 0 to 100 real quick. Within a month, he was sleeping over my house. I was sleeping over his house. He was taking showers at my house. I was taking showers at his house. I met his mom. I met his sister. And it didn't help that his sister, his cousin, his brother, everyone like worked with us. We all worked in the same place. And it was just, it all happened so fast. So fast. We were together 24/7 because we went to school together. We worked together. He was sleeping at my place. I was sleeping at his place. It got to the point where he brought his PS4 or what, I don't remember what PS, but it was a PlayStation. He brought it to my house, to my place, and would just keep it there because he knew he was just going to come back at the end of the day and just play video games. So we were in a full-blown relationship. This is what I would categorize as a full-blown relationship. I'm sorry if y'all don't agree with me, but if I've met your family, alright, you're staying at my place, I'm staying at your place, we're literally together 24/7, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, that's just what I would assume. He's spending so much time at my place, and then one of the things that I made sure to ask him before we even started dating was, you know, how long have you been single? And he's like, I've been single for 2 years. What happened? Why did you guys break up? And he said that his last girlfriend, we're gonna call her Anna, just for the sake of this video. So he was with Anna for 2 years, and they met at church, and her parents were really strict, so they really never got to be with each other. He was always either like at her house in her living room, you know, with the parents there. They never really got to go out anywhere. He didn't really feel like he had a relationship with Anna, and that's why he broke up with her. And he was like, that was 2 years ago. I need you guys to remember that, because this is a very important part of the story. Remember, he said he was single for 2 years. Okay? Okay. One night he was staying over my house, and we were both sleeping. It must have been like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I hear a phone ring. And I'm just like, who the hell is calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning? And I pick up my phone, and I'm just like, my phone's not ringing. And then I look at his phone, and his phone's ringing. And do you know who's calling him at 1 o'clock in the morning? Oh yeah, it's Anna. And I looked at his phone, and I was just like, okay. And I'm telling you guys, my finger was on his phone. I was going to answer this phone call, but as soon as I went to answer the phone call, she hung up. So we never got to speak. But best believe that I woke Brad up. I was like, excuse me, sir? Yeah, why is Anna calling you at 1 o'clock in the morning? And he was just like, what are you talking, you know, like they just wake up from freaking sleeping. They're like, oh, what are you talking about? And I was like, why is Anna calling you at 1 o'clock in the morning? And then he's like, all right, listen, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, oh my God, like what do you need to tell me? And he's like, you remember how I told you that I've been single for 2 years? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I was only single for 2 weeks when I asked you out. And I was like, what? What? You broke up with your girlfriend 2 weeks before asking me out? What do you, what? And he's like, I don't want to tell you because I knew you weren't going to go out with me, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, no. At this point, I had developed a lot of feelings for Brad at this point because he was just so nice to me in the beginning. He was always like I said, we were literally together 24/7, work, school, his house, my house, like every single moment of the day we were together. And this is the second time I'm breaking up with her. I don't want to be with her. I want to be with you. I started putting myself into Anna's shoes. And I was just like, you know, I kind of went through a similar, not exactly the same, but a similar situation before Brad. And I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe you should go and try to fix things with her. Because if she's calling you at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's for a reason. And he's like, no, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And I said, well, this girl is like looking for closure or something, because if I'm calling an ex-boyfriend at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's because I'm not over him and I need like some kind of closure. I need to know like this is done. This is real deal. No more. And I told him like maybe she needs like some closure. Maybe you just need to go talk to her and like fix things out. And he's just like, when I'm telling you guys, he begged me to stay. He was like, no, I want to be with you. No. So of course, stupid little Maggie was like, oh, he picks me, he wants to be with me. So I was like, okay. So I gave him a second chance. And we're dating. Now I know about Anna. So now he like points things out to me about Anna. So I remember one day I was leaving his house and he was dropping me off home. And as we're driving, he's just like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And he's just like, Anna's following us. And I'm like, what? He's like, Anna's following us. You see this car right there? He's like, that's Anna. And I was like, what? Why are you saying this so calm? Like, call the cops, all right? 911, hello? I got a stalker. You know, like, what do you mean she's following us? So when he said that, and he said it so calm, I was just like, yo, he's playing. He's lying. Like, she's not really following us. Until one night he was staying at my place, and yes, he gets a message from Anna. And I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, Anna just told me that she's done. Like, she's completely done with him, wants nothing to do with him. And then as he goes out to his car, on top of the hood of his car is like a promise ring he'd given her, like a Valentine's Day card, a teddy bear, like all this stuff. I'm like, oh no, Anna was definitely following us, because how do you know where I live? We've never met. I don't know who she is. How do you know where I live? You know that his car is right in front of my house. I was just like, why couldn't you wait till he got home and leave that stuff there? You know, you were obviously trying to send a message when you left that stuff in front of on his car in front of my house. So fast forward, I end up getting pregnant, and I tell him, I'm like, listen, I'm pregnant. And we were both like shocked. We were both like, you know, we both knew what we did. We both knew it was way too early. I think I was dating him for maybe a month and a half. I know. I know. We were both shocked, but in the end he ended up like coming to terms with it and being okay with it. He's like, I'm gonna be there for the baby. And I was like, okay, cool. And everything was good for like a week and a half. For like a week and a half, everything was fine. And then one day, he just flipped. Like, he was so mean. It was almost like he was trying to make me break up with him. And I knew he was stressed. I knew he had something on his mind and he had a lot going on, but he just didn't want to tell me. This one thing, like, I will never forget this because this pissed me off so much. He dropped me off home and he's like, I'm not your taxi. And I was like, what? Well, first of all, like, where is this coming from? Like, here, like, yes, he did drive me around a lot because I didn't drive at that point. But I wasn't forcing him to. He was just, you know, offering all the time. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you're not my taxi, but I'm pregnant with your child. That's the least you can do. The least you can do is drive me around from places because I'm pregnant with your child. He's like, I'm gonna try and make things work with Anna. And I was like, what? Wait. You're gonna go and try to make things work with Anna. Now. I literally gave you the opportunity to go and fix things with Anna before any of this happened. And you said no. You said you wanted to be with me. So now that I'm pregnant, okay, and you agreed that you were gonna be there for this child, now you want to go fix things with Anna? I didn't care, honestly. I was just so pissed. I was like, okay, go. I was like, go. Have fun. Guys, we worked with each other. I had to see him every single day. And we would not look at each other. We would not talk to each other. We wouldn't say anything to each other. I had a feeling that he was going to be waiting for me in my room. And this was like, we had already gone like weeks without talking to, like probably a week or two without talking to each other. And I just had a feeling, I was like, because where I used to live, we didn't have a key for the front door. It was a code and he knew the code. So he didn't need a key to get inside my place. And in my room, I always left it unlocked because I couldn't lock it from the outside. I could only lock it from the inside. So one day I was coming upstairs. I was coming home from work and I see my door like slightly opened and I'm like, who's been in my room? And I open the door and it's him. And I was just like, what are you doing here? Get out. And he just looks at me. Doesn't say anything. He just looks at me. And do you guys know, like, when you can see sadness in someone's eye? That's what I felt. I could see like the sadness in his eyes. And I was gonna go off. I was gonna like tell him to get the hell out. I didn't want him here. But when I saw how sad he was, I kind of just like didn't say anything. And he grabbed me in his arms and he cuddled me. And we did not say anything. We did not say anything. He just cuddled me for like a good minute. And then he said sorry. He said that I deserved someone better. And then he left. And I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, I had no idea what was going on. Because I was like, you just told me like you were going to go try to work things out with Anna. And now you snuck into my house, snuck into my room, and cuddled me for like 3 minutes and said sorry and left. So I knew something was up, I just didn't know what. So here comes the fun part. So I was at work one day, someone pulls me to the side and they're like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, alright, what's up? Brad married Anna. I knew he was gonna go try to make things work with Anna. I didn't know he was gonna fully like marry her. It had been only like 3 weeks at that point. I was like, what? And obviously to any other person in this world, you guys know what's coming next. But for me, I was just like, nothing was making sense. Nothing was making sense. And then they were like, there's something else. And I was like, what? What more can there be? Anna's pregnant. Oh my god, you guys do not know how furious I was. Yeah, she got pregnant after you. He found out after you told him you were pregnant. And I don't know if Anna knew I was pregnant before she got pregnant, and she got pregnant because she wanted him back. I don't know that, but that's what someone told me, and I don't know if it's true. I can only say that that's what they told me. They said that she knew she didn't want to lose him, and so she got pregnant. I didn't say anything to Brad. I didn't, you know, try and confront him about it. I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait and see how long it was gonna take him to say something to me. And a couple days went by, and he's like, Maggie, we need to talk. And I'm just like, I already know. And I was like, oh yeah, we need to talk? And he's like, yeah, we need to talk. I'm like, what? You want to tell me that you're married? And he was like, what? Who told you? I wanted to tell you. I hate when people get involved in my business. He's like, listen, before you find anything else out, we need to talk. We need to talk. And I was like, before I find anything else out? I was like what? Oh, that Anna's pregnant? And his face dropped. He was like, oh my god. He's like, I hate this. I hate when people get involved. He's like, I wanted to tell you myself. He's like, who told you? And I was just like, don't worry about it. I'm like, just know I know. And I don't want to talk to you. I don't want anything to do with you. Leave me alone. Talk to you. I need to tell you what's going on. And I was just like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So this kept ongoing for a couple of days. It didn't, like, the next day he was still like, please let me give you a ride home. Let me talk to you on the way home. I need to talk to you. And as you can imagine, my mom wasn't the biggest fan of Brad. I called my mom up and I'm like, can you believe that Brad wants to take me home and wants to talk about the situation? And my mom's like, do it. Did I call the right number? Like, who? Hello? Like, who is this? Like, my mom would never tell me, like, to go with Brad. And I was just like, what's going on? And she's like, do it. And she's like, but record the whole conversation. And I was like, there you are. That's my mom. Okay, all right. And so I agreed. I went up to Brad and I was like, okay, we can talk. You can take me home. And he's like, yeah? He's like, really? And he was all happy and excited. And, you know, I'm not going to share what was in that recording, because if I did, Brad would be in a lot of trouble. But, you know, I'm not even gonna go there, because I'm gonna let his conscience just live with that for the rest of his life. So things got really crazy. Things got really way out of hand, and I was alone for most of my pregnancy. Brad bought Noah a single thing, not the stroller, not the big car seat, none of the clothes. He did, like, after Noah was born, because we tried to be civil for a little bit. That didn't work. But like, the stuff that's on Noah's back is literally people just giving me stuff because they knew my situation, because they were like, they felt so bad, and I hated that. I hated feeling like a charity to people. But like, I had no other choice. I couldn't afford buying a brand new stroller. I couldn't afford buying a car seat. I couldn't afford buying this so much clothes for Noah. And I remember just being so sad and crying almost every day. Literally, like, I had to work with him every single day. I had to see him every day. He had to see me and my belly grow every single day, and it was a really, really hard time because of the fact that I was a single mother. So many people, like so many mothers, started talking to me, started adding me as friends on Instagram. Like, I met so many people just by the fact that I was a single mother, and some of the best people that I've met, like, have shared their stories with me, and like, they gave me hope. Guys, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. God has the perfect timing, and I am so happy that that happened. And I know it sounds crazy because it was such a bad time in life, but I'm so happy that it happened, because if it wasn't for that, met Oscar, and if I wouldn't have met Oscar, I wouldn't have had Dylan, and where I am now and the family I have now just makes me look back at that time and tell myself, like, why were you ever worried? Why were you ever scared? Because Oscar and my family and my situation right now makes me realize that that was just a little bump in the road, and I'm slowly getting to the bigger picture, and I'm gonna get there soon, and I know I'm gonna do great things. I work hard. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm worth, and I will never let anyone make me feel that small again, and give anyone that power. Don't let anyone have the power to make you feel small, because you're not. You're worthy, and you will be okay. Okay guys, so that's the end of my story time video. I know, it was a lot to take in. It was a pretty long video. I kind of like these videos. They're so easy to do. I just sit down and talk. That's really it. If you guys want to hear more stories, I have so many stories. It's not even funny. If you guys want to know what happened when I gave birth, that's another one. That's another interesting story. But let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys don't follow me on my social media, do so right now, because I'm starting to like get into the Instagram vibe right now, and I'm doing a lot of polls, a lot of questions. So follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my Snapchat, and let me know what you guys want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay magalicious. And remember, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified. Come on, people. Bye.